Neither does anybody else. Wow. If ever there was proof that the Caitlin Clark fans / Fever fans are now the overwhelming majority of the fandom, look at ticket prices for finals games.
For tonight's Game 1 matchup between the Las Vegas Aces and the Phoenix Mercury is just $35 for a WNBA Finals game. Just insane. $35. Not $37, not $39, not $40, $35. The get-in price for a WNBA Finals game.
Holy hell, $35 tickets for a finals game. Yeah, you heard that right. The biggest stage of the year. And you could walk in for less than the cost of a concert ticket. It wasn't just an empty arena. It was a symbol. As Aya Wilson and Dawana Bonner walked onto the court for what should have been a career-defining game, they were met by silence. The cheers, the chants, the energy gone. The WNBA had spent years preaching growth, progress, evolution, and yet at its pinnacle, it cracked. So here's the question. Did the league bring this collapse on itself? Because when your entire identity leans on one star, and that star is missing, the cracks in the foundation show. Tonight, we're diving deep. How empty seats became a metaphor for a league on the edge. How internal politics, fan disconnect, and short-term vision nearly derailed years of progress. This finals didn't just fail the teams, it failed the league itself.
If you are a consumer or if you're in the Vegas or Phoenix area, this is great. This is absolutely great. It is absolutely more accessible to get to these games for the average person. Absolutely, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is a good thing. So, I think there are two different arguments, and I'm seeing a lot of people, obviously, the get-in price is $35 for a WNBA Finals game. $26 at the final, great value, given how much they're forcing the league down everyone's throat. And people are just never understand people trying to clown W for low ticket prices. Look at WNBA having cheap and accessible things for all fans, and like my league that makes a loan to attend a game. Makes take a loan to attend a game. And I actually agree with that. I agree with that as a positive thing. However, it's not good in terms of people don't want to pay to watch this WNBA Finals.
When Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, it wasn't gradual, it was seismic. Ticket sales exploded. Merch flew off shelves. TV ratings hit record highs. She was the spark the league had been waiting for. But sparks don't last forever, they need fuel. As Clark's fever struggled, and the finals arrived without her, that energy vanished overnight. $35 finals tickets told the story better than any headline. The hype was gone. Dawana Bonner said it best after Game 2. You work your whole career for moments like this, and you just hope people care enough to show up. But they didn't. An arena built for thousands felt hollow. Aya Wilson played like a champion. But who was there to witness it? The WNBA promised a revolution. Instead, fans were staring at a ghost town.
One would have to imagine what that price would be if the Indiana Fever made the finals. Triple? $90? Quadruple? $120 maybe? $100 get-in price to watch the 20 maybe? $100 get-in price to watch the Caitlin Clark lists, the Sophie Cunningham lists, Indiana Fever in the WNBA Finals. That would be a pretty hot ticket. Not as hot as it would be if Clark was healthy.
Guys, if the Fever and Caitlin Clark was playing in a finals game, let's say against the Mercury, with all that drama around there, would there be a single ticket less than $300? Now, honestly, a single ticket less than $300. I don't think so. I think you'd have courtside seats go.
Early in the season, a message echoed through social media and interviews. It's not just about one player. Respect the history. Don't be a bandwagon fan. But when that message turns into mocking new fans, calling them casuals, plastics, or fake supporters, it backfires. You can't insult the people paying for your product. You can't ask for loyalty while telling them they don't belong. And when the finals arrived without Caitlin Clark, many of those fans simply checked out. Not because they didn't love basketball, but because they didn't feel wanted. That's not a Caitlin Clark problem. That's a marketing and culture problem. The The WNBA learned the hard way. You can't build a league by gatekeeping the very people trying to keep it alive.
Well, Uncle KC, did you sit outside by your pool staring at the night stars? No, although the fall weather was definitely nice enough to do that, and it damn sure would have been a better way to spend my time. It's also the only way I could have seen stars last night, because I damn sure did not see any stars on the pretend basketball court. Last night, me and my wife actually watched Game 1 of the WNBA Finals. Now I know.
Officiating. It's been one of the biggest criticisms all year. Inconsistency, missed calls, physical play that crosses the line. Players like Cheryl Reeves spoke up and got fined for it. Fans grew frustrated, players lost trust, and the finals only made it worse. When the product on the floor feels uneven, credibility slips away. And in sports, credibility is everything. Then there's the ecosystem. Talent isn't the problem. The WNBA has plenty of it. Aya Wilson, Nafisa Collier, DeWanna Bonner. Stars with skill, fire, and leadership. But the ecosystem around them, the marketing, the storytelling, the infrastructure, wasn't built to sustain excitement without one superstar. Caitlin Clark brought the crowd, but the league didn't know how to keep them once she wasn't there. That's not a player issue. That's a league issue.
Game 1, the get-in price for Game 1 matchup between the Aces and the Mercury for a WNBA Finals game. Oh, Asia, you all right? You all right there, MVP? MVP. MVP. Whoa. That MVP's really a draw. Holy hell, there's $35 seats right there. Right there. Plenty of good seats available. $46, $42.
After the finals, backlash erupted. Fans, media, even players questioned the direction of the WNBA. Was this just a bad finals? Or was it proof that the league's structure is broken? Commissioner Cathy Engelbert responded, saying she was disheartened by how some players felt undervalued. She promised reforms, a state-of-the-game committee, officiating reviews, and deeper analysis of league structure. But to many, it sounded like déjà vu. Promises with no timelines. Committees with no power. And fans have heard this before. Meanwhile, players are pushing harder in labor talks. They want real stakes, real revenue sharing, and a real say in how the league grows. Because the truth is, if nothing changes, the consequences are real. Sponsors will hesitate. Broadcasters will demand better. And players, the heartbeat of the league, could lose faith in the system built around them.
Finals will debut. The Las Vegas Aces versus the Phoenix Mercury. And I'm telling you right now, this is probably going to be one of the lowest rated WNBA Finals in a mighty long time. Now, we know the controversy that led up to this game is pretty much attached to Caitlin's name. That is the Las Vegas Aces actually knocking off Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Well, Caitlin did not play, but we know the referees kind of had a hand in that, we should say, with kind of making sure the Las Vegas Aces was pushed to making it to the finals.
What happened in this finals wasn't just about attendance or ratings. It was about identity. Is the WNBA ready to be more than a sideshow to the NBA? Can it sustain its own storylines, independent of one superstar? Because when your brand depends on a single narrative, the moment that story fades, everything else crumbles. The empty seats weren't fans giving up. They were fans saying, "We'll care when you care." If the league keeps protecting the past while ignoring the present, it risks losing its future. The question isn't, can the WNBA grow? It's, can it evolve fast enough to survive?
That's just not how business works. If Caitlin Clark was playing in the WNBA Finals, hell, if the Indiana Fever made it to the finals this year and Caitlin Clark was not playing, I guarantee you, tickets would be selling for thousands of dollars. The reason ticket prices were so low for Game 1 last night, there is a complete lack of interest in this series. And the reason there's a complete lack of interest is because there are no stars. The media can claim all they want that A'ja Wilson is a star. The media can claim all they want that A'ja Wilson is a mainstream draw. The ticket prices say otherwise.
Look at that $35 ticket again. It's not just a number. It's a mirror. It reflects what happens when hype outpaces foundation. When new fans are welcomed with one hand and pushed away with the other. When leadership mistakes a moment for momentum. The WNBA reached for a revolution and ended up revealing its cracks. This wasn't a finals collapse. It was a culture collapse, a business collapse, a moment that said more about the league's identity than any highlight ever could. The WNBA stands at a crossroads. It can choose transparency, reform, and accountability, or it can keep recycling excuses. Because fans are watching, players are watching, and the next season will decide everything. This isn't the end of a story. It's the start of a reckoning.